3:36. Is this like the intro song for Mark Wharton? Jukebox Hero over here? Man, come on.
It's my walk-up song.
That's your walk-up song. That's right. If it only said A.D. Hero, right? That's
right.
it.
That's right.
Athletic director for the Chattanooga Mocs, and good enough to come by here on a very busy week for you, and we appreciate the time very much, Mark.
Absolutely. Anytime.
So we got a big fan fest coming up, and this is a celebration of Chattanooga Mocs football, almost the official public ushering in of the Rusty Wright era.
Absolutely. We've been talking since last year's, Spring Fest or whatever we called it, to do more, try to get the community out and surround it around, the Rusty's practice. And he's going to scrimmage a little bit, but we're going to keep looking at doing 5Ks, maybe get carnivals and those type of things that bring the Chattanooga community out and see our product and display our brand and, have a good time.
You're going to have a wing contest. The cooking begins at 9 with a meeting for the wing contest contestants and all the rules and everything like that. You got a kids clinic that starts at 10 a.m. Actually, the registration starts at 10 a.m. and the clinic starts at 11. They'll have a Mocs and the Pros panel, which is really cool, but exclusive to Moc Club members.
Mocs Club members, we've got 3 of our NFL guys. We might have a 4th come and be narrated, ask questions, and learn about the transition from a Chattanooga Moc to their professional career and what it all entails. So it should be exciting.
So it could be Buster Screen?
Maybe so.
Maybe so. We know it's Keontae Davis, Corey Levin, and Tay Davis who will join us on Friday to talk more about playing for the New York Football Giants. But that's a really cool thing that you all put together. I don't think that's ever happened before.
Well, I mean, you credit those guys for wanting to come back and be a part of it, and they've been awesome anytime we've asked them to do anything. And I think it's just special that they know what it took to be here that got them there, and it's great and it's awesome for those guys, and we're looking forward to it.
So how's life with Rusty Wright as your head coach?
He's amazing. He's got a lot of personality, but he's a ball coach. He wants these kids to be, accountable in the classroom, the community, and on the playing fields. And he's very, very clear about his expectations. And talked to a lot of the players coming back in the transition, and they love it. There's full of energy, full of excitement, and I'm really, really excited about the future of Mocs, athletics. I think we got some talent that we can, jump up on some people this year, and just really excited about the staff he put together. All of it is just that people told me it was a home run hire. Now I'm convinced it's a home run hire.
Yeah, he's just a down-to-earth guy. Like I said, he's a ball coach and someone that I think is going to do very well for Chattanooga.
I think so. I mean, we've got a lot of community excitement, even people that, on the fringe of following the Mocs that are really, really excited and, just happy to have his family and him here, and he's going to do great things.
And I'm sorry, Quake, but you mentioned on Twitter because you're doing a lot more now with video and things of that nature, especially on the Twitter account. But follow, is it Go Mocs Football?
Chattanooga Mocs Football.
Right. So follow that, and you just get some video of Rusty. Man, if you don't know Rusty,
he was on the practice field, and it was pretty doggone funny.
He's quite the character.
He is. One of the little clips was watching the quarterbacks throw, and he said, "Well, I've never stood here and watched quarterbacks throw. Look at those guys over there hitting each other and beating their brains out. This is a little nicer." So little one-liners that he's known for is great.
He's just a good enough old school mix with being able to relate with the players too. I think that's and frankly, he was kind of that way as a player. He had the old soul in him.
Oh, yeah, and that's kind of the way I am, I feel. It's up to people to judge that. But, he's also – the other thing is he's great in the community. I mean, he's black and white, but people in the community love him. He treats people like he wants to be treated, and, that's kind of my mantra that we want to have in our department, a good culture. So he's perfect.
Thoughts about the Tennessee legislature changing alcohol on campus sales at any university in the state, but how has UTC and you guys, I'm sure, have talked about that? It's a little bit different in Knoxville, I think, with the Southeastern Conference kind of ruling them.
Right.
So that would have to be something that would change at the conference level. But what's you all's thoughts on that? Maybe purchasing a beer at McKenzie Arena down the road, and does the Southern Conference have any power over that?
No, the Southern Conference, we have schools like Mercer and the Citadel that sell it throughout their stadium.
The Citadel, that's interesting.
Yeah, they started it in the conference, but Mercer's followed with football. And, my philosophy has always been, as we talked about with Rusty, old school, but, I really think we pushed and we're successful to add some beer and wine in our hospitality areas in McKenzie. I think the rule or the law that has been approved will help us get major concerts here. I know a lot of the country artists require alcohol sales that help. A little portion goes back to their kitty, but
so that's what's going to happen in Knoxville too, at least first.
Correct, and that's what they're pushing. I think there's a grander plan. I don't know what Coach Fulmer and their administration are trying to push, but again, the SEC kind of governs all that. But
right.
We haven't gone down the road to talk about it, and quite frankly, I want to see and make sure what we're doing currently, that we create interest and get our donors. What I'd like is our fans to look in there and see people enjoying themselves and their wives have a little glass of wine and say, what does it take to get in there?
Right.
And obviously helps us raise money. But as far as
the Mox Club dues are so affordable, it's crazy.
Correct. And we want to make sure there's a fine line there that we're not taxing. I think there's enough people we can get on board that help us increase that. But we haven't had any conversations with athletic events. I think that's way down the road, but it's possible. But right now, I agree with Chancellor Angle that let's do what we do well and use this opportunity to get Elton John or Aldine or whomever in here and again be the preeminent in Chattanooga where you can go see a concert.
And you went through this at Penn State. If you'll share that story with our listeners, because I find it very interesting that Penn State had rules and everything, but then there was a reason to change those rules.
Well, Penn State's very, very conservative where it comes to alcohol on campus and different things. And
people don't know that State College, that's very rural. It's out in the country. I mean, it is its own spot there, so you could understand the more conservative mentality.
You got to want to go to State College. You don't go through it.
That's exactly right. You got to find it.
Yeah,
there's more deer there than there probably are people.
Deers and cows, deers than people. But we got there and we're looking at the angle we talked about with what we're doing here in Chattanooga with alcohol at hospitality. We didn't have it, and we went down the road, and it took 4 years for us to get it in the hospitality area. But within that third year, we started getting Jason Aldean and Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks wanted to come to the Bryce Jordan Arena in State College, and their riders said they had to have alcohol. And so I don't know if it sped it up or we were at the end of it. They approved it, but you could only get 3 beers throughout the concerts. But
so you got a wristband with 3 little
tabs on it. Every time you went up, you only get 1 beer. You can't get your wife or your friend a beer, but they ended up doing it, and you see a very huge influx of artists coming there. State College is dead in the middle of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh,
sure,
and they're 3 hours in between, so they got a lot of great artists. But it's an opportunity there. Really looking at Beaver Stadium there, 107,000 people to do maybe a NHL hockey game.
Oh yes,
to be able to sell
the New Year's Day deal. I love
New
that.
Year's Day.
Yeah.
Have that there, or a preseason NFL, or even talk about Major League Soccer having that in Beaver Stadium to be able to sell alcohol, but not for Penn State NCAA. They just not are bought into that quite yet.
That a Big Ten thing too? Do they govern like the SEC does?
I believe that is a rule because no Big Ten school has it during athletic events, stadium wide.
So it sounds like you don't want to go that route just yet, but you are looking at other ways to get more revenue into UTC. And if it's bringing a country artist in that requires that, and selling 2 or 3 beers to a person, that's one way of doing it. Well, maybe you probably can't say, but what other ways of revenue are you looking at, or of gaining revenue that would be beneficial for UTC?
Well, I mean, we all have talked about, it's been a great thing, the center hung boards and the things we're doing inside of McKenzie,
right,
that working with the city to talk about when the SEC women's basketball championships up, that we bring it back to Chattanooga. Also high school events, whether football or basketball, volleyball, to have coming in town to be able to create revenue and create a partnership. Those are the things that we're really, really aggressively trying to talk to the city and the sports bureau, and just find events like that we can showcase our city, but also bring people to see our arena. It helps huge with recruiting on campus and showing our university.
Yeah, I've discussed this with Rich Mazingo, who we'll have in here a little bit later, but he refuses to do it. But what about Mr. Dynamite? You going to bring him in?
At midcourt, blow up that video board. Oh, grand opening, grand closing.
Well, we're just trying to get Red Panda back, and so we got to do that first.
She's high. She's high in demand nowadays, isn't
That's
she?
right.
So talk about, and again, you can find all the information about FanFest on Saturday at GoMox.com. Right, Mark?
That's right. And, we hope we're going to have a big crowd. We pushed it, and you guys have been so great to help us push all that. And, it should be a beautiful afternoon and good weather and, some good wings and other opportunities. So it's going to be a fun day.
They asked me to be a judge in the second year. I was like, you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. I think it was 2 years ago. And you talk about the variety of wings you can get. It's like a buffet of wings, man.
It is awesome. A buffet. I think we got 26 cookers, and I think they've got 10 pounds of wings a piece. And so it's going to be a mess of them.
I just did like bite. You just take a bite because you eat 26 wings, you're going to be exploding for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's what I did to begin with, and I went back around and finished them up.
Baby.
You got to ease into it. Ease into it.
So talk about just how much damage was done at Scrappy Moore Field, their practice facility, because I know the guys went on the intramural field at some point in time, and
McCallie today, and then Ridgeland High School next week.
It's been kind of a scramble situation with all the flooding.
Yeah, we're really focused even before we started spring ball about what we're going to do in the fall and our options, and we're working with our insurance and obviously the university to see what we can do to put new turf down there. It's completely all our equipment, everything is destroyed.
How deep was it?
Oh, I mean, it was 5 feet in some areas.
If it's up to that equipment barn, I mean, that's kind of on the high side.
Correct. The ice cooler was in the other corner. I mean, it was bad, and so we're really scrambling, focusing. Rusty again has been great. Let's just get it done, and happy to be on a ball field. And,
sure.
But we're working hard, fast and furious, to be able to put those things in motion. You're working with the state of Tennessee and just the normal stuff and the number of things that you got to check boxes before you can even do things.
I guess that's covered on insurance.
They say it is.
We hope so.
They say it is. So we're working and very, very confident we'll be ready for fall camp.
All right. Again, we'll get the kids involved for sure. You folks that want to cook some wings, I believe it's a little too late to register for the wing deal.
Yeah, I think we're closed on that.
Yeah, but the other stuff, registration for the kids clinic begins at 10 a.m. This is all at Finley Stadium on Saturday. 11 a.m. the kids clinic will start. That is a free clinic for the kids. Pre-registration recommended, and you can do that at GoMox.com. You'll have the Mox and the Pros, which is, again, the Mox Club members only, but you can join today and be there at noon on Saturday. Keontae Davis from the Patriots, Tay Davis from the Giants, and, of course, Corey Levin from the Titans, and maybe a surprise guest to be a fourth. But that'll be a very cool conversation with all three of those guys pretty much being teammates.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Keontae he sat right there and told us about him going up against Corey on an extra point or something. And I think it was inside the 5, and the ball went to the total opposite way, and they just kind of hit each other, and we're like, what's up, buddy? Been a while. So you can get all that stuff. And don't forget, the 20th anniversary of the Porky's Open. I know that's one of the huge fundraisers for Chattanooga Mox Athletics, and that is now 20 years old. Holy cow, that's April 30th at Council Fire.
Well, we encourage everybody to come out. We usually sell out, of our foursomes, and I think if you go to a normal golf tournament, you get some goodie bag type stuff, but we really put it on and make sure that everybody has their fair share. But it's a huge opportunity, to play golf at a great golf course. 2, we have all our coaches out there, and you get to meet them and spend some time with them. And again, it's huge to help us raise scholarship dollars for our student athletes, and it's our biggest fundraiser.
That's been Frank Kinser's baby since day one, right?
Absolutely. It still is his baby. So.
Mark, thank you for the time. We appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mark.
Enjoy. Great seeing you guys.
Yeah, always good to see you.